I was introduced to Game Changers from one of my former teammates. Saw some of the things that they were doing, bridging the gap between police and the community through sports.
3 hours before the start of a collegiate or professional sporting event, law enforcement and non-law enforcement members of the community meet for a moderated focus group. And once we're done doing that, we go to the game together. Because the key to any healthy relationship is quality time spent together.
We're all human, and that's where you want to start, on common ground.
One of the biggest things that we don't do as Americans is listen. I think listening is the first step. Anytime you're in this type of an environment, to go in and think you know everything is the wrong mindset to have.
Game Changer really is an opportunity to come together and build community, because law enforcement is the community as well. All right, let's get started. What do you believe to be the #1 problem between police and the community to be?
I think it's a lack of communication. I think most police officers, we go out and we do our job and we're thinking about how we can solve the problem. We're not thinking about the person sometimes. And when you have a 14-year-old look you in the eye and they look like they want to kill you, and I don't know where that kind of anger and that hatred comes from.
Within that community, when you say the 14-year-old kid was angry, he was angry about something, didn't have nothing to do with you. It's something going on with him. So how do we bridge that to say what is going on and what am I doing that's either going to help him or harm him?
I think it's trust. It's hard to build, and I guess for you guys it's hard because you see them in this one moment, you see them in this one setting.
If you think about who you trust, it's usually people you spent quality time with, right?
The truth is, the day of the officer walking the same beat for 20 years and being able to take the time to build credibility and trust has been disrupted by a system that's guided by funding more than it is by communication. And I think all the things that we've talked about would be better if officers had the opportunity to be involved with the community in a situation where they're not responding to a call.
Basketball is my favorite sport, even though I ran track, but it was something that I knew that could bridge the gap. Not only that, we brought in guest speakers from the NFL, and then we sit down after the boot camp and we just talk with the kids, you know, and ask them their goals and aspirations. And I don't think a lot of the kids get to have that interaction where they can ask anything. It's a start.
We've all heard the terminology, see something, say something. I think Game Changer takes it to a whole new level as to see something, do something. And what I take away is learning how to trust and be more communicative and be more active with the community.
I just feel like I gained a greater appreciation for our law enforcement and for our community.
I have an opportunity to look at police officers in a different light. They're just human beings, you know, just like me. And I got a new friend.
That's right.
I'm just glad I got a new friend. So when I'm in trouble, I know who to call.
I learned 2 things that I'm going to do different as a police officer. When you said to say to kids positive things instead of saying to them, don't do drugs, I'm going to do that from now on as much as I can. And the other thing I'm going to try to change, because it actually kind of brings me to tears a little bit, to think about how you feel when you get pulled over by a police officer. I have the ability to change that with the officers who work for me.
I think what's next is to continue to have these conversations. And I think when you continue to have conversations, you come up with ways that you can improve.
That's it. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being honest and open. And take this into your communities. Tell this story and share it with other people who you think would benefit from this experience. There's great momentum happening. Like many of you, I am very hopeful about the future. So thank you for being part of Game Changers.